What's going on, guys? It's Jake here from Chief Live Gaming. Today, another Death Guard discussion video. This one stemming off of some questions I got on my previous videos. And I just want to say thank you guys for all the feedback and all the discussions we've had in the comments. I really love doing that. And that's part of the reason I really love YouTube. So all of you guys that are being interactive down in my videos, comment sections, thank you guys so much. That really does mean a lot to me. So this video, we're going to cover how to build a Death Guard collection kind of from the ground up. I've had a lot of people that are saying, hey, I'm starting Death Guard. I want to make a Death Guard army. You know, what would you recommend to start off? What would you recommend for a 1,000-point army? What would you recommend to kind of look for to expand on that? So what I want to do is talk to you guys about that in this video, and kind of also mention some of my thoughts that knowledge after I've used this supplement, Trader Legions, for a couple games. So I've had my chance to play with Death Guard using this supplement 3 games so far, and I have a little bit of a different opinion on some things now. So we're going to kind of also touch on that in this video. But the main thing I want to talk about is how to start we're going to use the example of roughly 1,000 points as a starter collection, as a core for a larger army. So it'll kind of be a well-rounded force that will function at 1,000 points-ish, and will also do well as a core for, say, an 1850 or even a 2K list. So that's kind of where we're going with this. So let's take a look, and again, guys, we're going to I'm going to talk in this video as if you've got some knowledge already of this supplement and some of the special rules for Death Guard and the formations. If you're not familiar with those rules or you're kind of lost in this video, take a look at one of my first 2 videos. I'll provide a link to both of those down in the description where we go over all of that stuff kind of in depth. And also I'm going to link that battle report that I mentioned, or I don't know if I mentioned it actually, but I did record one of those 3 games in a battle report. I'm going to link that down in the description below. I played against another Trader Legions faction, the Iron Warriors, at 2,000 points. That was a really fun game, so be sure to check that out if you like battle reports. So, if I was going to start a 1,000-point Death Guard list, or a smaller Death Guard collection, it doesn't have to be 1,000 points exactly. What I would think about is one of 2 paths. So we have a Death Guard Vectorium here, which is of course the Decurion formation, centered around 2 of these core formations. One of these, Chaos Warband or a Plague Colony. Now if it was me, if I was starting out, you can pick to kind of build for this Decurion, wow, I can talk Decurion, or you can go the CAD route. So if you're going to try to build for this Decurion, what I would definitely recommend is going for the Chaos Warband. So I'm going to show that to you guys because that's what I'm going to recommend. The Plague Colony is very good, but it is not as well rounded and is way more limited, and it's kind of more of a almost like an auxiliary formation that you bring with if you already have your bases covered in other ways. So here's the Chaos Warband. Go ahead and pause this video if you don't know. I'm just going to hold this here for a couple seconds. What this entails. The biggest, absolute, most important thing I think about this formation is it's got objective secured. So it's a formation and has objective secured, which is kind of different. It's not a normal thing to see that really, but you're also gaining some additional bonuses from the Vectorium. So we're gaining this, again, I'm just going to show you very quickly. The biggest thing being rerolling 1s in our Feel No Pain, and Cloud of Flies, very good for things like Bikers. When you jink, you're going to get +1 to your jink. Very good to have that as just a little extra layer of protection. But you're also getting objective secured, which is usually why we want to bring a combined arms detachment, to make sure we have objective secured, because there is a lot of what do they call that, Maelstrom of War kind of based missions now in 40K, where even if you're playing like ITC or ETC missions, you do need to worry about objectives as your secondary objective in that tournament maybe. We have Maelstrom. So making sure that you do have objectives secured can be very beneficial in your games. So when we look at the Chaos Warband, that's what I want to recommend you guys as a starter collection. And also if you have a bigger collection and you're trying to build a list, I would start with the Chaos Warband. So we need a Chaos Lord. We're going to put him on a bike for a couple different reasons. We can bring him on a bike, be close combat outfitted, and we can put him with a Chaos Spawn Pack, which is just so happens to be an auxiliary formation. So you bring the Chaos Spawn Pack along with the Chaos Warband, and you have a legal list for any game, and you can do that for probably, I would say, roughly like 700 points, something like that. The Chaos Warband in itself is not all that expensive, so this will function on its own. If you have a melee-based Chaos Lord on a bike, say you give him like the Black Mace or something, you know, melee-focused, a Power Fist, a Lightning Claw combo, you want him to get into close combat, I would recommend bringing him with a Spawn Pack. You put them in the unit. They're a very good bodyguard for their Chaos Lord. Mark Nergal gives them toughness 6, very nice. If you want to have kind of a support Chaos Lord that's good in combat but still cost effective, maybe just like a power sword, or you want to give him, maybe you've got a sorcerer on a bike with the Burning Brand of Scalthrax or something like that, kind of a mid-range support HQ, I would put them in a group with your Chaos Bikers instead of those Spawn, because the Spawn are kind of more of a melee-centric sort of unit. So those are the two ways I would think about fielding your HQ. Melee or kind of support focused. And you heard me mention the Bikers. This is the second thing that I have to recommend Nergal Bikers to any Death Guard player, whether you're playing a CAD, whether you're playing a formation. You need to get Bikers in your list because they are absolutely dominant. Toughness 6, feel no pain 5-up. No matter how you bring them, you're getting that feel no pain with the Death Guard chapter tactics. If you bring them as part of a Chaos Warband or just the Death Guard Vectorium, you're also rerolling 1s on that feel no pain, and you're getting +1 to your Jink. Very, very, very strong. Outside of 18 inches, that is, to your Jink. And though they are just kind of a iconic Nergal unit that you really want to try to include. So another unit that this might sound a little weird, but I really want to include, especially for people just starting out and don't want to spend a lot of money, Chaos Terminators. So these are readily available now in the Betrayal of Kelth or Burning of Prospero. You can get the different 30k patterned Terminators that work well as 40k proxy Terminators, or counts as, and you can get a lot of different weapon options for them in those kits, very reasonably priced. And I don't generally recommend Terminators in 40k, but because of the Death Guard chapter tactics, they're going to be toughness 5, they're going to have feel no pain, they're going to be a lot more effective. So this brings the element into your list that you desperately need. The anti-tank, you get those access to Power Fists to rip open those Land Raiders, to rip open those vehicles, the walkers that are AV-13. You know, you need Power Fist or Chain Fist, something, las cannons, you know, to deal with that. The Terminators will do that for you, and they're also very good just as a general kind of Marine equivalent or Terminator equivalent killer with those Power Fist options. So I would definitely recommend to bring Terminators as part of your Chaos Warband. Again, feel no pain on Terminators, toughness 5, very, very strong. So from there, we're looking to get obviously some Chaos Space Marines or Plague Marines. So if you just kind of get some of, again, Prospero or Betrayal of Kelth, the 30k pattern Power Armor Marines, and paint them as Death Guard style, it's fine for most players if you field them as either Chaos Space Marines with the Mark Nergal or Plague Marines. Most players are okay with that. And you can use them in a Rhino, you can run them on foot. Again, you've got some feel no pain, very strong, toughness 5, just a great troops choice. No matter what, I would prefer the Plague Marines, obviously, but as part of the Chaos Warband, you need the Chaos Space Marines. So getting these 30k pattern that you see here, some Mark III and Mark IV mixed in there, and just painting them kind of like this in Death Guard theme, You can use them as Chaos Space Marines in your Chaos Warband, and then maybe if you want to try out a Plague Colony, you have the same models to be able to bring Plague Marines and try that out. So I would definitely recommend getting at least, start with maybe 20. And you don't need a lot, especially Plague Marines. You know, groups of 5 double special weapons you can see here. This is my favorite loadout for Plague Marines. 2 plasmas, you bring your sergeant with a power fist, and that is a very well-rounded, very good unit right there. That is my recommendation for Plague Marines. Now, as far as where to go from there, you can fill out your warband kind of to taste. We covered most of it. And if you're needing more points, I would definitely recommend to bring a Combined Arms detachment on top of what we've already discussed. So you've got your Chaos Warband, your Spawn Auxiliary with that as kind of your core. Now we can talk about this at 1,000 points, we could talk about it at 2,000 points. That's your core for your army. It's got objectives secured, it's very thick, it's going to stay on the table very well. There are a few weaknesses. We've got the Terminators to deal with armor, so really we're all kind of okay there, but maybe we want a little bit more anti-armor, and we definitely want to think about anti-air. So if you like playing air units, there's a lot of air units in your local meta, you see them a lot, you might want to consider like an Aegis defense line with a quad gun. That's a decent option. Really the only other thing is like a Helldrake for anti-air, but they're not really the greatest for that. You could bring a Fire Raptor in a Combined Arms detachment if your area is Forge World friendly. Just some options for you guys to think about there. So I would suggest to go and think about what you need in your local meta. If you need more heavy units, maybe a Plague Hulk, you could bring a Spartan, a Sakaran tank, and maybe some anti-air. Kind of fill in the holes in your list, plug the gaps with a Combined Arms detachment for the rest of your points. That's kind of my main thought process nowadays. So I want to keep this video short, guys. We're at about 12 minutes. I don't want to talk anymore in depth, but I want you guys to ask me questions. Any questions you have, any thoughts, discussion, down in the comments below. I really do enjoy that, guys. So thank you for that interaction. Let's talk about different things, and I hope that this has been helpful for you guys looking to start your own Death Guard collection. Let me know if it has. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye now.